Welcome back to Beyond Classified. I'm your host, Chris Matthew. Tonight, my guest is Justin Merchant. He is a self-identified truth seeker, and his whole life revolves around Gematria these days. He stumbled upon Zachary K. Hubbard's YouTube channel back in about April of 2020, and he and his wife created their website and then a Facebook page called Gematria School. His goal is to make people aware of how it is used to manipulate our lives without us knowing it. He believes that it proves certain events did not happen organically. Justin, welcome. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing really good, man. Glad to be on.
Yes, welcome. Gematria is really fascinating for me. I've had Zach on quite a few times. When I look at his work that he's done and the predictions and the accuracy that he's had, it's really fascinating what can be done when you look at Gematria. Almost every major event, including sports, which in my eyes kind of proves that it's rigged anyway. But there's also a dark occult aspect being used with this, and those at the top know about it and are probably using it against us and manipulating it if that's possible. That's what I'd like to get into with you a little bit tonight as well. And your Patreon and website actually gives people an opportunity to use Gematria against the system by making sports predictions, among other things. And it was Zach Hubbard's work that got you started, right?
Oh yeah, man. I cannot say enough about Zach and what he did for me. I don't know how else I would have become aware of this knowledge that I think is so important. So I commend him for coming out and speaking out about that. However, yeah, there is definitely an organic side to this. Like the story goes, according to Zach, who I've gotten a lot of my information from, is the Knights Templar supposedly invaded Jerusalem and stole this sacred knowledge or whatever from this sacred temple over there, and they've created this 26-letter alphabet, and it is credited to the Roman Catholic Church, and they gave us the Gregorian calendar. And everything is synced with these astrological cycles. But I do think there's an organic side, like God's code, if you will, to it. But also then there's people that have taken it and are using it to their own advantage, right? Or against us.
Now, could you kind of, for those that really aren't familiar with Zach's work or Gematria, could you kind of break down how, like, the basics work? What is it that Gematria is?
Well, I mean, Gematria is from Kabbalah, and it's from Jewish mysticism. Says that God created the world with letters, numbers, and words, combining numbers, letters, and words together. And it's so that's what it is, the practice of coding numbers into words. And what you get is words that have common logical relationships in our everyday life, like witch and broom. They just happen to be identical values in each of the four ciphers. The four ciphers are very simple addition that literally anyone could do. If you can do 2 plus 2, just the first cipher, simple A through Z, 1 through 26. Each one gets a number. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z is 26. Then you have the same thing but in reverse. Z is 1, Y is 2. Back to A is 26. And then the other two, same concept, forwards and backwards, except for you incorporate this rule of numerology, which says that you cannot have a double-digit number. So in the first cipher, Z was 26. In this cipher, Z would be 8, because 2 plus 6 is 8, 26 together. You go 2 plus 6, add the two together, that makes it 8. J was 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. J is 1. You can't manipulate it. Next year, each word and each letter will have the same value. In 100 years, they'll have the same value. There's no manipulating this. So what we're looking for is coincidences or corresponding things. And how many times can something happen where you would be like, what a coincidence? And it just, to be to the point to where there's no way, you would have to be just in denial to think that someone's not doing this on purpose.
So do you think that these elite factions at the top, they're using this because they know it's a cipher and it can't be manipulated, but they can see what's happening, I guess, in the future based on these numeric patterns?
I think that they have everything set up in the cycles with the astrology. So in my opinion, the Bible, while I believe there's a lot of truth in the Bible, I'm not what you would say a Bible follower or whatever, because I think that those books were printed by the same people that won't tell us the truth on the news, right? They could the only ones that could afford a printing press back then. So while it could be I think there's 90+% truth in there, but I think it's been manipulated to the point to where you can't decipher what they would have put in there versus what was supposed to be there. So, but you have to have 100% faith in the book, which to me is bad advice in any aspect of your life, to tell someone to go do anything without looking into it or something, you know what I mean? But anyway, I do think that you can use it to try to tell future events organically, like a tarot card reader, maybe. But that's more on the organic side. What I'm really focused on is the manufactured side, the media side. That's what I mean. The side that's putting fake stories out there that I believe that Gematria proves by the numbers that these stories are contrived in order to push forth their agenda. A good example is the George Floyd killing, in my opinion. If you look at the Michael Brown killing and the George Floyd killing, isn't it a coincidence that Michael Brown equals 201, which is what, like, have you heard of Event 201?